So Tom, could you introduce our guest for tonight?
Oh, absolutely. He's the host of the YouTube web series Inside the Business of Acting. He's also an honored faculty member at Emerson College Los Angeles and Elon University in Los Angeles. And he's recently published his Entertainment Industry Survival Guide, The New Business of Acting, How to Build a Career in a Changing Landscape, the next edition. Welcome, Los Angeles-based talent manager, educator, and author, Brad Lemack.
Yeah. Welcome, Brad. How so nice to have you here.
Very excited to be asked. Thank you. No, I appreciate the opportunity to connect and to chat. Thank you for letting me in.
Oh, you kidding? It's wonderful. So I think it's important. Wait, did Timmy just jump in there? Hi, Timmy. Good to see you.
Hi.
Good to. So we're going to be chatting with Brad Lemack, who is all about theater and management. And one day, Timmy, you will be going out to LA, no doubt, for your own theater career. I have no doubt about that. But I think that, Brad, I think that we need to have full disclosure about this. Do you want to tell folks a little bit about how we met?
It was a dark and stormy night.
Was indeed.
It actually, you get past it. I don't know, one gets past a certain age and dates are meaningless. Like I find myself not wanting to put numbers to things. But having said that, and without owning up to any of it, it was the early 1970s. It was Boston, it was Cambridge, it was WGBH-TV specifically. There was this project happening in Studio A when they weren't filming The French Chef with Julia Child. They were doing this crazy idea of a kid show that no one ever heard of called Zoom. Right. I don't know why they didn't wait to think maybe someone would do an online video platform with it 100 years later. But so that was happening in Studio A. And meanwhile, in tiny Studio B across the hall, there was a team of high school students from around the greater Boston area at WGBH that had an open casting call. Hundreds of people showed up from high schools, various students, various cities, and they selected a handful to be this team of kids who they would do another kind of experiment with. They had what was really the first use of portable video equipment. And it was there were these huge, we do it now on our phones, but there were this huge batch of equipment. They trained us how to use it. They told us that they thought that we had interesting stories to tell and to uncover from the community. And that at 15, 16 years old, they wanted to see what we would do with a half-hour primetime television show. So we were given this time slot weekly, and we were given this equipment, and we were given a senior, grown-up producer who was mentoring us. And we produced a show for a year, every week, live show. We would take content. We were content creators. Who knew that that's what it would become, right? We went out in the community, and the stories were all as unique as we were. We all had voices coming from wherever we came from. And it was a fascinating experience in just having that platform. And recently, I discovered in a garage cleaning pandemic project about 20 old videotapes. Wow. And I've had them digitized. And I've seen some of them have held up really well. And it's been so extraordinary for me to look at that 1972 Brad Lemack. What happened to, well, I know what happened to him, but what happened to him? So it was a fascinating experience. And you and I sort of bumped into each other in the hall between the two studios one day. And it was like I was meeting somebody I already know.
Right. I felt the same way. It was like a brother that I had some generations before. It was incredible. But it was an incredible show, really a unique show that you guys were doing. Our show was we were doing performance stuff, and it was all kid based, but you guys were really doing the production as well.
we were doing everything. We were on air, we were producing, we were writing, we were editing. And in 1972, I was the youngest reporter to cover the Republican National Convention in Miami. It was Nixon's second run to cover that. And I did my reporting for our show. And it was, I mean, think about, I mean, it's politics so different now, really, or maybe not so much, just treated differently. But it was an extraordinary opportunity for a high school kid to get to wander a convention floor and be immersed in all of that. And it certainly, it ignited the flame in me for everything that's happened all these decades later, because it opened my eyes to what I teach and talk about is that I don't have to wait for somebody to give me the opportunity. I have within me the ability to create opportunity on my own and for myself. And that's the greatest joy and the greatest reward. That's how it began.
Yeah, that's how it began. And I was going to ask, so how do you think those early experiences influenced you? Because you've really just moved so far in your career. It's remarkable. Not that
Yeah.
it was ever a surprise, remarkable, but
no. Well, you don't know that where you're headed, right? I mean, it was a difficult teenage high school years for me. I was an odd child from a challenged home, and trying to find not so much my value, although maybe it was, but to find my place. And that, those were the arts for me. And in the arts, I found something that I just was comfortable with. And it was a way for me to express myself and to feel validated in a way that I wasn't getting anywhere else. And to be immersed among that group of adult mentors at WGBH, and to be surrounded by you and the other kids doing Zoom. We were all doing different kinds of performance art, but we were all like-minded in just the joy of having the platform to move an idea forward. And so I realized all these decades later, my life has really been very much about storytelling. It doesn't matter whether I've been, from that show, I went into broadcast news and public relations and working for Norman Lear and having my management PR company and teaching. It's all about storytelling, and it's all about mentoring, right? And I recognize the value of those services, that kindness that was offered up to me, and I've seen how there's just the residual impact when you just can do something really selfless for somebody else, open a door for them, let them know, here, that's really good, or give them the boost that they need to move on to the next step. That's really been what, all of this has been about. And then I've had a greater realization of in the COVID pandemic, because, we're all sort of insulated in our bubbles with a lot of time to think and reflect, really. So that's a long answer to a very short question.
Stretch the canvas, rush with madness. Is it sadness or just a show?